Great officiating crew tonight, and we are underway here from technically a neutral floor, but with a lot of orange and blue in the stands here in Lakeland. ECU starting up in a man-to-man defensive look. At the top, it's Riley Kugel. Kugel, all SEC freshman campaign a year ago. Rising fire, that's a deep two off the mark, and there's that size for the Gators. Although Hanlogden will turn it over, the 7'1" center gets the first offensive rebound of the game. Starting five for the Pirates. Look out for R.J. Felton, number 3, their leading scorer, averaging over 16 points a game. A big, strong, athletic guard, number 3 in black.
This ECU team really good in the half court executing. They don't mind this kind of tempo and pace.
Felton weaves his way in the lane, but took an extra step in order to do so. The Florida starting five looks as follows. Walter Clayton is back in the starting five, and Walter Clayton has been terrific so far this year. Riley Kugel, the All-SEC freshman a year ago. And again, Tyrese Samuel has been a dominating force inside on both ends of the floor. Samuel gets it inside and right off the window and in for the first bucket of the game.
Again, that's going to be the challenge, I think, for ECU. Points in the paint, all things block to block. The rebound margin, can they survive this really big and tall Florida team on the inside?
Kick out pass, that's Pettiford on the runner, and ECU ties it up. Bobby Pettiford, the junior, transfer from Kansas. Tough shot in traffic on the other end by Walter Clayton.
I don't think that's the only tough shot Walter Clayton has made in this building.
Yes, that's right. Former state champion. He's from Lake Wales, Florida, and one of a handful of Gator players who have won a state championship in this building back in their high school days in the state of Florida. Clayton from Lake Wales, which is 45 minutes south of where we are in Lakeland. Foul will go against the Gators. And that'll be on Samuel.
Late in the possession, I think Samuel slips, and that leads to the foul. Asar was trying to attack the rim. I think it'll be real important. So many times, and Mike, you've heard me talk about this, we talk about offensive patience. When you play a team like ECU likes to execute in the half court, likes to run the clock a little bit, likes a lot of ball reversal, defensive patience becomes paramount.
Felton to Johnson on the perimeter.
He's got a size advantage here.
Now backing in, carving out space, draws the foul, and almost an and one. As you mentioned it, Mark, Brandon Johnson at 6'8", saw the size advantage and went right on attack mode.
Well, this is an ECU team that gets to the free throw line a lot, almost 26 times a game. Their problem has been making. They're 69%. That's 12th in the American.
Foul is on Richard, and we see the first free throw, nothing but the bottom of the net. Yeah, that's the number that surprised me. 26 free throws a game, and that is not by accident. That's something that Michael Schwartz stresses. Be aggressive, get to the free throw line.
Any number over 20 is really good.
They'll split the freebies. It's a one-point game. You've seen Florida a lot this year. What do you like about this team so far?
How bouncy the bigs are. And not just the starters in terms of Samuel and Hanlogden, but when they come in with the two young guys, Condon and Houck, they're really, really bouncy for their size.
Gators have 3 of the top 7 rebounders in the SEC. ECU just finding it hard to get any daylight. Into the corner.
Isolation.
Asar on a fade and fire. It hits it.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. I did their game against South Carolina last weekend. He's got a lot of moves in the mid-range area. Well, they're allowing Clayton to just get 3 runs to the rim.
Samuel probably got away with a walk. 3-ball. Meanwhile, knocked down by Walter Clayton, already making the most of a pseudo homecoming for him.
Why do three-point shots come about after offensive rebounds? Because the defense gets scattered. The closeout is a little out of control.
Pettiford lobs it down low. Size there by Handlock that knocks it away, but then Felton picks up the loose change and splashes a three.
Yeah, his three-point percentage, 35%, may not wow you, but it's the best of his career. He has worked on his game.
Clayton draws the foul. Count the basket. Walter Clayton Jr. making the Lake Wales, Florida crowd quite proud.
Gets the kind roll, if you will, for the and one opportunity, and Clayton off to a fast start.
Ooh, already 9 points for Clayton. He starred for the Iona Gales a year ago, led them to 27 wins. Could have followed Rick Pitino to St. John's, but instead came back to his home state. Boy, is he ignited in the opening session.
According to Synergy, Clayton this year has been better in the half court than he is in transition. There's not a lot of players that can make that claim.
You and I have done a lot of games where a team struggles to get 10 points in the first 4 minutes. He's got 10 already himself. Samuel grabs another carom for Florida. Third top rebounder in the SEC. Clayton feeling it. Kick out pass to Kugel. Handlocked it. Skips it over. Great ball movement. Richard on the attack. Richard, beautiful feed to Handlocked.
Again, when you get ball reversal and make the defense have to close out repeatedly, good things usually happen.
This is not exactly the pace that the Pirates wanted. A 14-burger in the first 4 minutes and change.
It's our first look at Cam Hayes on the floor.
And that is a story in itself that we will tell you about because it
makes really good decisions. And no question, he will help this ECU team.
This is affecting programs across the country. I just had LSU. They are holding out hope that Jalen Cook, who started at LSU, then went to Tulane, now back at LSU, that he'll be eligible to play. He would be a huge factor for their team's success. Gators in a major flow offensively in the early going of this game. Kugel got fouled on a reach-in.
One of the things that the ECU system defensively encourages is to keep you on the side. They want no middle drives back to the middle. They don't want you to get into the paint. And you'll see Michael Schwartz, he'll be up there defending. Top part of your screen, he'll get down in a good defensive stance. There he goes.
The Aussie Alex Condon, 21 and white in the game. He is a ball of energy every time he's on the floor. Pull-up jumper, a rare miss that time by Clayton.
That was a much better challenge defensively by Pettiford.
Hayes thought about pulling the trigger from long range. Johnson up top.
Now, one of the things I liked watching ECU last weekend, their ball movement.
First shot of the year for Cam Hayes, a little too strong. Clayton on the drive. Clayton with 12 points already.
Pretty obvious, isn't it, Mike, that we have a battle of tempo?
Yes.
Florida wants this game in the 80s. ECU would be much more comfortable in the 60s, 70s.
Gators in the middle of a 7-0 run. Another 14 minutes to go in this first half. Something wrong with the shot clock. It had 40 seconds on it at one point. I don't know how that just went down, but nevertheless, on the other end, it's pulling. We had a 40-second shot clock, well, really ever. We had a 45, then a 35, and now 30. As Kugel gets fouled. That's right.
Left in the country.
I like to save the juiciest of nuggets for you, Mark Wise. You know that. Got to leave a little meat on the bone. Clayton with just his second miss.
The Pirates, it has to be all five to the defensive glass in this game, the way Florida offensively rebounds.
Walker feeds the baseline on the serve. Lost it, bobbled it, and squirts into the hands of Pettiford in the corner. Shot clock down to 6. Nice move inside. Pops out of there. Offensive rebound and a good stick back by Felton.
Felton averages almost 7 boards a game. You better put a body on him. He is not afraid to attack inside. Florida having success big to big.
Walker skies for the rebound and leads the troops in the front court. Now Felton on a wheel. And a kick out.
He got away with a travel.
Yes, he did.
Asar is such a tough matchup because he can play inside and out.
3-ball off the mark. Kugel grabs the carom. Here come the Gators. All the way down to the front court. What a pass. And Condon draws the foul, but that was a terrific look and offer by Riley Kugel.
This is a great pass, but it's even a better catch by Alex Condon, the 6'11" freshman from Australia. And he caught that ball in an awkward, it's like the wide receiver catching that fly pattern kind of over the wrong shoulder.
Reeled it in regardless. He's an athlete now. There's not too many college basketball players that have excelled in Aussie football, cricket, and water polo. And he's done the rare trifecta in those sports. He's out of Perth, Australia. We've seen kind of a boom in Aussies making their way into the college basketball game as you get a look at Thomas Hawk entering the game. Again, Florida with a lot of size, number 1 in the SEC in rebounding with a margin of plus 10.6.
Remember, they were an extremely poor rebounding team a year ago.
Yeah, they got bullied.
And especially when Castleton went out.
They got bullied for much of the year last season. Gators just 1 of 3 from the line now. 6-point game. ECU hanging around despite Florida igniting in that first stanza. Defense by the Gators has been suffocating so far. There's a good look, the 3, another miss. Kugel skies for the board.
Nice job keeping Brandon Johnson on his back.
Condon again. Look at that block out of nowhere comes Felton. Asar takes it to the rack.
He is such a versatile player. And we talk about ECU, they will run at times.
Condon offensive rebound. Condon takes it strong. And the SEC's 7th leading rebounder will go to the free throw line when we come back.
Congratulations to everybody involved with the new baby, and good luck.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You being a grandfather, you know a thing or two about.
Oh, you're dating me already.
Oh, well, it's bound to come out eventually. Alex Condon at the free throw line.
As a grandparent, I can do no wrong.
That's right. You're undefeated as a grandparent. Sometimes you got to take the L as the dad, but undefeated as a grandparent.
Addie and Jack, I hope you're watching.
There we go. Shout-outs already in the first half, courtesy of the coach, Mark White. 6-point game in Lakeland, Florida. So this counts as a neutral floor win for somebody. Banging bodies, and that'll be a foul called on Thomas Hawk. One of those big bodies you were referring to, 6'9", 210 pounds. You and I had the Florida State game. He was terrific in that ball game.
Again, ECU, they're not afraid to ISO different players on one side of the floor, and I think they're really good at drawing fouls, which is one of the reasons why they get to the line a lot. See all the body movement, the ball movement.
Cam Hayes pulls off another deep shot. He's 0 for 2, and Kugel could not tightrope the baseline. It'll be Pirates basketball.
Yeah, this is a rotation where Florida has the 2 freshman bigs in together in terms of Condon and Houck.
Pound pass into Johnson, who's been rather quiet so far in this game. Third, strong take, but could not get the finish. Rise and fire 3 on the other end. A quick trigger by Will Richard. That's a great sign. There's been a lot of questioning about some of his shooting numbers down. He's still got the green light. In fact, Coach Golden telling us, I'm never going to pull him because of a missed shot. That's okay. We want him shooting.
Shot 40% last year from bonus land, down to 32% this year.
You know, just one of 3 players in the SEC to shoot 40% or better from downtown.
According to Ken Pong, Florida offensively is the 10th quickest to shoot team in the country per average possession. So when you get back transitionally, that ECU has to do tonight, even after makes, it starts with picking guys up above the arc, because as you just saw in the last play, Richard and Todd Golden's team, they will let it fly.
Well, the Pirates not cashing in at the free throw line, just 1 of 3 thus far.
God, the guys that have been there, Felton's 80%, Johnson 81%.
Makes the second. Gators already with 12 points in the paint. Kugel to Hawk. Back to Kugel on the return. There's Pullen. Nice angle pass down low. It's all about the angle, Coach Wise.
Yeah, and it comes after ball reversal.
There's an art to an entry pass into the post. It's amazing how many players in today's game don't do that properly. Largest lead for the Gators now 10, and then a bump foul down low, and Condon knew it.
One of the cornerstones of good offense is ball reversal. Watch, the ball goes from one side of the floor to the other, and then to read the entry pass. Condon inside, he's already got in the scoring position. When he catches it that close, you have no chance.
All right, you made a football analogy earlier. I'll make another one. You can throw, as a quarterback, a catchable ball that might be a 5-yard gain, but if you catch the receiver in stride, if you throw the perfect pass, it's a 50-yard gain. That was the perfect pass.
Very nicely done. I see what you did there.
Yeah, see, I'm trying to keep the football analogy going. It's still bowl season, right? Right around the corner. We've got some bowl games. Banks in the paint now 14 for the Gators. Hayes not bashful at all. That's 0 for 3, and then the rare offensive rebound for the Pirates.
Yeah, Johnson got away with a push on the weak side glass.
Pirates just 1 for 7 from downtown. This will be another one. That had no chance. Brick City.
Yeah, Asar doesn't shoot many, but he can make it.
Now a turnover. Pirates. Beautiful weaving reverse layup by Pettiford.
Again, a Florida mistake leads to easy points, and that's just a poor pass. Sometimes I think Florida tries to get going too fast. The deflection leads to the steal and the run out. Watch this finish. Talk about a high degree of difficulty by Bobby Pettiford Jr.
It's a young man who transferred from Kansas. Didn't get a whole lot of run with the Jayhawks. But a heck of a pickup for the Pirates.
You never want to follow a turnover with another turnover, and that's what Florida did. They had the deflection, which led to the run out, and then they have a poor pass. So back-to-back giveaways.
It has been, if you want to find an Achilles heel for Florida this year, they do not rank well in assist-to-turnover ratio, and at times turnovers have been an issue.
Well, if you play fast, you're going to have more turnovers, but you can't have them just because of bad decisions.
Is off the foot.
Yeah, I think that's Pinedo who had come into the game.
He's a young man out of Spain. They have 2 Frenchmen on the ECU roster that we'll see plenty of tonight.
One of the things of this Florida team that's hard to keep up with, I think, is because they rotate the 4 bigs. So now Samuel and Hanlockton are back in the game and fresh from a breather.
And always fresh. Match in waves. Empty possession for the Gators as Pullen hits a double team and then tries a cross-court pass. Deflected, then picked up. And a 3 knocked down, making a deep 2 by Will Richard.
Yeah, he was behind the white line, but the white line is not the three-point line.
Yeah, we got 3 lines to work with. The high school, the college, and the NBA should a NBA game break out tonight. Stop and go dribble by Pettiford at the top. Under 8 minutes to go in a break zone with the Gators up 10. Hayes, baseline drive.
See, that's the Cam Hayes I remember. Kind of a slasher, driver.
Another turnover.
Liked about Todd Golden having Chris Richard address the team. That connects errors.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When you've got that type of history, recent history in your back pocket, you might as well cash in on it.
I think this is ECU in a zone for the first time today.
Pullen, his first shot of the night. Ryan Pullen, 3-time All Big West selection at UC Riverside. 3-ball from the corner. Eventually, they got to start dropping for the Pirates, and that one does for Brandon Johnson.
Yeah, he's made 3 or more threes already 3 times this season, so you have to be there on the catch.
Pulling out another miss. A good box out that time by Johnson.
Tough matchup, a tough ask for Handlockton at 7 feet. He's going to have to keep up with Brandon Johnson, who can play inside and out.
Walker measures a 3 and rattles it home, and all of a sudden it's a 4-point game.
Now Walker making a 3 is news because he was just 3 for 14 and had really struggled lately, missing his last 4 in the last 3 games.
Look at the excitement by Michael Schwartz there on the sideline.
Oh yeah.
He's practically on the court coaching the defense. What a great hire, by the way. Getting head coach Michael Schwartz, a long-time Rick Barnes assistant. In fact, we asked him about this job and how much Rick Barnes was influential. Of course, Rick is from the state of North Carolina, ECU in Greenville, North Carolina. And that certainly didn't hurt, as he said to us, I wouldn't be here without Rick Barnes. Kugel splashes a 3 and a much needed, Clayton with a 3. And how about the night so far for Walter Clayton? 15 points, 6 of 9 from the field and 2 of 3 from downtown.
It's just a nice job of drifting without the ball. Devonjay going a little too fast.
Hitters going fast on the other end.
Watch out.
Wide open 3. Wow.
Watch out.
Clayton passed up the first, but he hits the second. I thought he was going to shoot it the first time. He didn't like it. He wanted a different angle. School said thanks, but no thanks. We like you as a football player, but not basketball. That's how he wound up with Rick Pitino at Iona. So when he was transferring back to the state of Florida, he said, I will only go to a place with a coach that did not turn me down. Well, Todd Golden wasn't around to turn him down, so that's how he winds up in Gainesville.
And Clayton won't get credit in the box score, but he's the one that disrupted that drive. He got in the way, and that allowed Samuel to block from behind. The teams have traded 2 consecutive made 3-point baskets.
Let me ask you this, as you and I continue to get indoctrinated with this year's version of SEC basketball.
Yeah.
Oh, Felton right between the eyes of Kugel.
Everybody's making 3s.
It's raining 3s in Lakeland. As we see a whistle down low on ECU. Has anybody had a more impactful portal class this year in the league than Florida? I'll let you chew on that for a while.
You're putting me on the spot.
That's what I
probably
do,
not. Probably not. In terms of, I think you've got to be good up the middle. And Todd Golden, like baseball, you have to be good up the middle. I think that's true in basketball. And Todd Golden kind of addressed that with Pullen and Samuel, Handlockton, all guys up the middle, if you will.
I mean, that's a heck of a portal class to go along with Walter Clayton.
Now, ECU really good at getting hands in the gap.
5 minutes to go in this frantic first half. More quick hands. Who else? Walter Clayton. Clayton all the way. Clayton with 20 points in the first half.
Yeah, that's a rarity because Bobby Petta for 37 assists, 13 turnovers. Almost a 3-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio, but it was the quick hands of Clayton that caused all of that.
On the week that Walter Clayton became a dad, he's got the most memorable first half in his career. 20 points on 8 for 11 shooting for that man, Walter Clayton.
You can't possibly draw up a play for anybody else right now, can you?
No, give it to number 1 in white and let him go. He's already 8 points from his season high. That's the other thing to like about this Gator team, as Todd Golden was telling us. They've got 3 or 4 guards on any given night that can give you 20, 25 points.
Yeah, but you also have to be willing to be the guy that gets 5 some nights.
The heat check from Clayton, left that one short. Richard flying in for the rebound. Kugel, drive and kick. Nope, cross-court pass stolen away by Felton.
They encourage you, and I'm talking about ECU, to try and make that pass. That's what keeping it on the side does.
5th turnover on Florida. Felton's a great football player in his own right back in Aiken, South Carolina. Now, we've seen cross-court passes. None of them are working. And then a bad pass on the other end. Florida almost gave it right back. ECU, which is, if you've ever been to the campus, beautiful campus, great fan base, high enrollment. Football's had it going for a while. Basketball, for whatever reason, has struggled. He believes they can turn it around.
What do football players call that? Sudden change? That was great defense in a sudden change situation by Florida.
That is your 3rd football reference in the first half, Mark Watts.
I'm way behind in 23. I got to get them all in.
Versatilities displayed tonight.
Yeah, again, if you're going to drive into traffic, you're going to ask for trouble.
7 turnovers, but then met at the rim on the other end. That was great defense by Richard. Oh, blind pass inside to Handlogden. What a feed by Kugel.
What a nice job of running the floor by Handlogden, because I think he had Clayton wide open to his left, but was kind of seeing if his big was running the floor.
2 minutes and change left to go in the first half. Inside it comes, and a nice job on the finish by Asar.
Well, they are really trying to exploit ECU in transition, aren't they? They're making Asar score on one end and run 94 feet to cover on the other.
Well, the thing about Florida, what I've noticed, I know you've seen more of them than I have. Their bigs can all run.
Right.
They're not just plotters.
All
bigs,
4 of them.
All 4 of them can run up and down and rim run, which is very rare. A lot of times you got guys who are big down low, but the last one to the other end of the floor. Condon, a 1-on-1, misfires. Gators now 3 of 6 from the charity stripe.
Don't you feel like, Mike, this is an important 2 minutes and change to get into the locker room for ECU?
Yes. They've had the one really good run. And outside of that, it's been a whole lot of what we just saw. Missed shots, turnovers. Clayton, heat check 3. Tapped around, Clayton got it back. The size of Florida paying off dividends on the glass.
Horn set with the 2 bigs.
Pulling. Almost a stick back by Handlogden. Pullen gets it back. Kick out pass. Kugel defers. Condon fires. That's a brick.
I mean, I know Condon has made some this year, but there might be a reason why you're open.
Minute 20 remaining in the first half. Open 3, passed up that time.
Yeah, you got to shoot that. Walker was open on the hammer pass.
Johnson measures, fires, and hits.
I like him. Yeah, I like him a lot. Double figures 7 of his 8 games that he's played this year. Almost had a double-double in that South Carolina game.
6 points for the junior out of Raleigh, North Carolina.
High-low again.
Lob pass. Oh, I don't even know how to describe that one. Handlogden, kind of like he was playing handball, just tapped it in.
You think Condon will want an assist?
Absolutely.
On that? Yeah.
And he'll get one. Five seconds to go. Gators will be able to play for the last shot if they can get a rebound. Jump hook shot. That's another way they'll get a rebound, as that is the first bucket for Malonga.
Yeah, he only averages a little more than a point per game, so bonus points, if you will. Last shot opportunity.
I know I'd be looking for number 1 in white here for the final shot. He's sitting on 20 points. He flares out. Instead it goes to Kugel with 2. Kugel with 1. Good if it goes. It doesn't, and that is how the half will come to a close. All right, what do you want to see out of ECU in this opening stanza?
Well, I think they have to win the first 4 minutes, the first segment. So I would start by getting the ball inside. I like the Johnson touches. Seems like when Johnson gets touches, good things happen for ECU.
Johnson over there at the bottom of your screen, number 6 in black. And a pass down low, and a block by Hanlogden.
There's that size again.
7'1" transfer from Marshall. Kugel looking for his first basket. Hanlogden missed the follow. Samuel, he gets hammered. So many big bodies Florida can throw at you with this year's squad.
Well, Florida and their length, flexing their muscles on both sides of the floor. It started with the Hanlogden block. And then on the offensive end, first Hanlogden and now Tyrese Samuel, who had a very quiet first 20 minutes.
Samuel, by way of Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and then of course played his college ball at Seton Hall, and a huge pickup through the transfer market for Todd Golden in this Florida squad. And as we mentioned at the top, he's been the most consistently good at the 4 bigs that Florida has.
That's a good sign because he entered the game just 55% at the free throw line, but he has now made 7 of his last 9, and free throw shooting is all about confidence and repetition. Here's this isolation again. Everybody overloaded on the weak side. Yes, nice pass. We gotta make that.
Missed dunk, but a foul. Asar will go to the free throw line. If you're Johnson, you're saying, that's great, but I should have an assist there.
I love just moving without the ball. And as I think Johnson got feet into the paint and attracted defenders, it was Asar with the baseline cut.
Asar, much like you, Mark Wise, changes his hair color on a regular basis. The style, the color. He's got some purple there with his current look.
The guy was a member of the all-freshman team in the American a year ago.
He had 20 points in the game against Houston last year. Of course, Houston now is in the Big 12. The new look American has FAU projected number 1. They're still nationally ranked. Memphis number 2. ECU right now 5th in the preseason rankings.
And just a careless ball handling against a little bit of pressure that time.
Speaking of FAU, Jack May, the son of the FAU coach, is on the bench for this Florida squad.
You mentioned Memphis. How about Memphis's non-conference schedule? They play at Missouri, at Ole Miss, at A&M. They also play Michigan, Arkansas, Villanova. They've still got Clemson and Virginia to go.
Nice job going to the other side by Pettiford. He's a crafty player. Samuel spins and gets hammered again. You get the feeling that Tyrese Samuel is going to get a lot of trips to the free throw line come conference play, because there's some big bodies that'll be banging with him.
We said this in the first half, that Florida is really trying to get the ball down the floor quickly before that really tight man-to-man can get set up by ECU. They've had some success, and they've also had some failures.
Well, whatever you said to Tyrese Samuel about free throw shooting, he clearly took it under advisement.
Took it personal. Big guys that can make free throws will see their average per game go up at least 5 points a game. It is such an important part of being a big.
Pretty good looking stroke from here.
Yep.
The lead swells to 8 now for Florida. Felton, that's a bump foul before the shot. And that'll go against Kugel. Kugel's been kind of quiet in this game.
Yeah, he's kind of matured as a defender, and he's being asked to guard R.J. Felton tonight. He got beat early in that possession.
It's the second foul on Kugel, who has yet to score. He does have 4 rebounds. In the trees, Felton. Back out on the perimeter, that's Walker. Great two-man game, and there's Asar on the flush. He's got 9.
Excellent pick and roll by the Pirates that possession.
Clayton, there's some contact, no whistle. And ECU will pick up the turnover.
There's just too many bodies, though. It's too much traffic.
Walker probing in the trees. A fade and fire. Nice job getting away from the size of Florida. Hitting a tough shot. He's got 5. The lead is cut to 4.
I like showing the ball. Get a defender in the air. Seems like such a simple thing.
Drive and kick and a blocked foul. That'll go against ECU and Bobby Pettiford. That's his second.
East Carolina that's his second, team third.
3 team fouls now on the Pirates. And they'll get a substitution. Cam Hayes will come back into the game. He was 0 for 4 in the first half. Again, it's his first game of the year. They're going to roll the dice that he will remain eligible with all that's going on with that transfer rule in college athletics right now. That's a story that no doubt we'll have to keep our eyes on for the coming days and weeks.
It's the right idea from Samuel to Kugel, just a misfire on the connection. Don't you kind of feel like the game is there for the taking for either team right now?
I mean, if I'm ECU and I weathered that flurry in the first half by Walter Clayton alone, and I'm sitting here, nothing has gone great for the Pirates, and yet they're only down 4. That's advantage ECU at this point, because they have not played their best basketball. Great take, but no finish for Asar.
He's so explosive.
Kugel almost got away with a carry there.
Read the double.
Kugel on the drive. There it is. First points, first basket for Riley Kugel.
Yeah, you can tell he's a little unsure what shot to take. Well, when in doubt, attack the rim. High degree of difficulty with the finish.
It's that elite athleticism, explosiveness that had scouts talking at the end of last year that Riley Kugel certainly looks the part of an NBA guard in that 6'5", 205-pound frame.
You can see his numbers on the year, but he's had 3 games in the 20s. He's had 3 games where he's only scored 5 points. It's kind of been, much like Florida in some ways, he's been uneven.
Yeah. Well, this game has been kind of uneven, and the Gators have led throughout, but ECU has never been completely out of it. Largest lead was 11 for Florida in the first half. Shot clock winding down to 5. 3 ball, air ball. Kugel there to pick it up. Here comes Kugel on the attack. Kugel full throttle, leads it off for the big and blocked from behind. A beautiful block by Johnson. On the other end, and a block there, but that'll be a goaltend on Will Richard.
I think they'll take a look at this at the break.
This is a clean block, which is what you and I thought at the time.
I could have told him a lot sooner.
Yeah, right. But here's the other part of the equation to keep in mind is that then you have to decide, okay, well, who had possession after the block? And because that was unclear, they go to the possession arrow, and that'll dictate who has the ball. A lot of logic behind the rules that have been adjusted in college basketball.
Again, ECU down the floor. They've already caused 1 turnover. It's not really a double team or a run and jump. It's kind of a show press.
Samuel draws a quick double team, and that's a jump ball. That's great defense by ECU.
Yeah, you've got to know the double's coming right away because that's ECU's monster game, if you will. Go on the catch, automatic double team. And when Samuel kind of gets this ball up over his head, he's inviting Walker to get in on the action.
I don't know if he ever saw Walker.
Maybe not.
Walker was pretty stealthy, going behind him, get his hands on the pumpkin. Baseline drive, out to the corner into the hands of Hayes. Free ball from Johnson rattles in. It's a three-point game.
Again, showing the ball. I love it. Johnson, really impressive as a scorer today.
Now a steal by the Pirates. In transition, a dunk attempt that's blocked by Condon, who's got a few words for him on the way back. Now Condon, on the other end, it's Walter Clayton. Walter Clayton with his 22nd point and an and one.
How about this play by Condon as a freshman? Talk about your rim protection. Ball lands in Clayton's hands, and it's in a scramble situation. So he just takes it coast to coast. LeCount picks up the foul.
I got to come clean. I was so fascinated by the fact that Condon not only blocked it, did you see him rim run on the other end? I'm watching him on the offensive end as Clayton gets another bucket and an and one.
Remember what you asked me in the first half when you asked me what was most impressive about Florida's bigs?
Yeah.
Bouncy.
Bouncy, I like that description.
That's a great illustration.
Well, that bounciness now has yielded 5 blocks for the Gators. Clayton will have to settle for 22 points after the missed free throw. It's still a 5-point game. I mean, if you didn't know any better, you would feel like the Gators are winning by about 20.
Flex action by East Carolina.
Just losing his footing. That's a tough break to Felton. Had to throw it up there to avoid the walk. Clayton kills the dribble. Pullen will set things back up for Florida. Pullen and Clayton playing a little two-man game on the perimeter. Now Pullen goes to work. Banging, firing. Look what I found. He just tossed it up and hoped something good would happen, and it did.
Tried to draw a foul, instead scored a hoop.
First points for Zion Pullen. And that will count. An and one on the other end for Pettiford. He is really good on the penetration.
Take another look. Hesitation. I talk about playing at different speeds, and how about that over 2 defenders? Bobby Pettiford Jr., who made a pretty spectacular shot earlier in the season.
It's Kennesaw State. This good-looking player averaging nearly 10 points a game, shooting 39% from downtown. And a 3-point play makes it a 4-point game. Condon up top. Back out to Pullen.
They're really trying to work Samuel inside. They just cannot get him the ball. Great job defensively.
Looks at 20 feet from the basket. They're okay with that. Angle it into Condon, but ECU is all over the place right now.
It's just too difficult of an angle to make that pass.
Chance to cut it to 2 or 1 with a 3. Almost a friendly bounce. Condon reaches up for the board. The blow by, the hang and fire, no. Tapped up, no. How about another offensive rebound? In traffic, Richard wanted a foul, can't get it. And ECU gets it. And now a timeout called, a wise play by Pettiford as he was in the middle of a Gator sandwich. SEC ACC challenge. That's the key number right there. Offensive rebounds 13-4. That Gator size and length dominating.
But they're really not turning them into points, second chance points.
Yeah, only 9 second chance points to go along with all those offensive rebounds. ECU with a chance to cut it to 2. And that ball just hung on the rim before it crawled off. Asar will go to the free throw line.
Again, you can see why he was on the all-freshman team in the American a year ago. He's been double figures 8 of 9. He goes to the free throw line more than 8 times a game. According to Ken Palm, he has the number 2 free throw rate in the country, and that measures the ability you have to get to the line relative to how often you try to score.
And you know, he's out of Atlanta, Georgia, Liberty Heights Athletic Institute, and not a whole lot of guys out of Atlanta with his kind of talent slip through the cracks. By no means is that a knock on ECU, but clearly he's good enough to play in the Southeastern Conference. He's a talented young man.
Well, this is an ECU team that is unique in this respect. Their top 3 scorers all came back.
Right.
That's different in today's game.
They didn't go to quote-unquote greener pastures. Yeah, retention now is so hard for these coaches to just keep the guys that you have. Forget about adding players and recruiting.
Yeah, I think it'll be hard to press Pullen. He'll get Florida organized.
Clayton has been the story tonight with 22 points.
They just turn down the screen. They don't allow you to get back to the middle of the floor off the pick and roll.
5 on the shot clock. Clayton drifting right. Clayton, kick out pass, Pullen on a 3. Air ball, and that's a shot clock violation.
That's where the defense of ECU was simply marvelous in a late clock situation.
Well, if you are a disciple of Rick Barnes, you know you're going to coach a lot of defense. That's what Michael Schwartz is, and that's what he does. Kick out pass, 3 ball from the corner, in and out. Asar tapped it up, no good. And finally, cradling the board is Richard.
How did that ball not go in?
I don't know. It's halfway down and out. Unfriendly rims here in Lakeland. And Condon is hacked every which way a man can be.
Is dictating the quality of shot that Florida is able to get, and it's not very good. And that's a credit to the defense.
I feel like ECU ought to be in orange and white because I feel like I'm watching a Tennessee defense under Rick Barnes. I mean, it's very similar to the way they play and as effective as they are.
Well, that was not a very good looking free throw by Condon. Barely got to the rim.
Gets a friendly bounce on the second. The lead is now 4.
Well, we said ECU had to win the first segment. They've done that and then some. So they are the definition right now of the hang-around team.
ECU does have a win against an SEC team just a year ago. What a shot that time by Asar.
He doesn't feel like anybody can guard him.
12 points for Ezra Asar. 2-point game. Again, Gators have led throughout. Condon. Bullish draws contact and gets the whistle.
Yeah, it's 3 on Pettiford. Asar's on the floor with 3 fouls.
And that is bonus time now for Florida. That's a 17 foul, so a 1-and-1 here for Alex Condon, who just split the freebies his last trip. Gators 8 for 14 from the line. Those are the kind of numbers that can haunt you in a close game. Knocks him down.
Well, can Florida figure out Asar?
There he is, wheeling, dealing, and that time hand-locked and altered the shot. Tallest Gator player since Dwayne Shintz's back in the day. Finally bounce on the 3 for Will Richard.
Well, you would never get that kind of roll at the carnival.
How about the O-Dog? 8 points for Richard. And the lead back to 7. Inside it comes. Turnaround jumper. Iron unkind to R.J. Felton. Little push off. Pullen got away with it and got the bucket to boot.
Early offense. What Florida has excelled in this season.
Halfway through the second half, the lead is 9.
Wasn't it just 3?
It was. 7-0 run by the Gators, and that's the response. A big-time response by Brandon Johnson again. He's got a feathery touch from outside for a big man, and ECU will burn a timeout here. Break down cover 2, 2 gap. 6-point game here in Lakeland.
See, watch Johnson try to deny Samuel or push him out on the floor for ball reversal. Again, it's the high-low.
Pullen almost threw that one away. Kugel tight ropes the timeline, gets it back to 4. The shot clock it's every time it gets to 5, it resets to 40. It's kind of confusing.
Well, I think it runs down into the seconds, tenths of a second.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not used to that. Oh, I'll tell you who's used to that. Malanga. All 6'11" of them. Gets the follow-up slam. Back to a 4-point game. Ball squirts out. And an aggressive take. Richard attacks and gets the basket to go.
All of a sudden, we're going up and down.
Look at this tempo. Felton quickly on the other end. We don't need a shot clock.
I love the transition offense. I'm not sure the coaches love the transition defense.
Kugel, power drive, draws a whistle, and he'll draw a trip to the free throw line.
East Carolina, 21, Jacob Walker.
Walker picks up his 3rd foul along the way. And as you've referenced earlier, Florida has already gotten to the bonus.
Well, it's 18 fouls now on ECU. Florida has just 4.
Florida dead last this year in the SEC in free throw percentage. Just a shade under 67%.
Kugel on the season 73%. And he pinched that one. But there's Samuel to get the rebound.
I think the shot clock reset to 30, should have reset to 20 after the offensive rebound. So this will probably go to 16 would be my guess.
That's good math right there. -4, -4. There it is, 16. Mark Watts. Take your prize on the way out.
Florida actually worked on this at shoot-around today with Poole taking it out in a clock situation.
Pullen bottled up in the corner. Pullen's got nowhere to go. Black jerseys all over him. Lobs it to Samuel. And Samuel hooping the harm. Pullen waited to the last second, and finally he saw number 4 in white.
I love the patience of Pullen. It was a great call by you because he kept reading, waiting for an opportunity to get the ball to Samuel. He sees him. Now he's got to wait for the opportunity, does a little ball fake. Samuel finishes with the and one.
I don't know how he got the ball to him.
Yeah.
I thought for sure that pass was going to be deflected. So here's Samuel. You mentioned the free throw struggles earlier in the year. He's now 4 for 4 in this game tonight. Out of bounds to Florida.
Well, that's the thing about Florida and these bigs. Todd Golden's team competes for every missed free throw. Now, you ought to when you miss a lot of free throws. There are opportunities to be had.
That'll help pad that rebound margin, which the Gators are number 1 in the league in. Kugel, little shake and bake, step back 3. Well, the move was good. The shot missed everything. Who's going to get this one?
I don't think Ron Gruber saw it, so he's going to go to Don Daly.
I'm not sure if Don Daly saw it either.
Yeah, they're going to call jump ball.
Yep.
Gator basketball.
Boy, if you're ECU and you're Michael Schwartz, you're thinking, come on now. That's a tough break.
The shot clock and the jump ball will stay where it is.
How about this for a rebound advantage? 40-18, Gators with the advantage.
Samuel's looking for the double.
3 seconds left, 2 seconds left. Line drive three, no. ECU boards it all the way ahead of the pack. And a missed layup. A missed layup by Cam Hayes.
Pullen tried to foul.
And Pullen on the other end. Off the magic square and in.
That's a 4-point swing. Remember that play.
Yes, huge. 6 points for Pullen, the lead. Back to 8. Asar. Oh, just a force.
Wasn't there.
Richard alley-oop. A little too high for him. And the ball is scooped up by Felton.
That's not a time for a high-risk pass.
Yeah. Now a little bit of sloppiness. That was almost a turnover on ECU.
Take what we see in the last 4 minutes.
That's going to count. That's an and one for Felton. R.J. Felton, who is a very physical, strong guard at 6'3", 210, muscled his way to that basket.
Yeah, they have two guys who can do that, create their own look off the bounce, whether you're talking about Asar as a big or Felton as a guard.
Felton was a linebacker in high school, Aiken High in South Carolina. He's built like a linebacker. And Aiken with a three-point play, Felton with a three-point play that they certainly will recognize back in Aiken. He's got 14 points now.
He tried to set the back door up for Clayton Jr. The help was late getting there.
Great job by Felton just walling up that time. Left his feet, but did so straight up on the defensive end. Great ball movement, open rainbow three, back iron, and the Gators corral it.
Aren't you impressed with how Hanlogton rebounds out of his area code?
Yes.
He chases down boards.
He's quick. He's not just tall and long. He's got quickness to go along with it.
You know, they've got a mismatch inside, but Felton's doing a good job of fronting Samuel.
Owen doesn't like what he sees, dumps it into Samuel. Samuel just coughed it up.
Too much traffic.
Not a place to put the ball down. Felton passed up the three. ECU on a reset. A 5-point game as we approach the 6-minute mark.
See if they go back to Felton.
Here's Hayes. Hayes has not been able to buy a bucket. And won't do that here. Hanlogton had it, lost it. Follow no good, and Samuel, you're not going to tear it out of his hands. That's a three. Tapped around, and the Pirates have it.
Asar and Johnson got a breather. They're waiting to check in at the next dead ball.
Pettiford.
Wide open.
Kick, wide open three. Got it! It is a 2-point game.
Defense did not rotate, did not close out. Walker made them pay.
Walker with 8.
Oh, they missed Samuel on the back door.
Why not have Samuel on a post-up? He's got a huge size mismatch. Samuel's got about half a foot on Felton. Shot clock at 5. Teardrop, no. Felton comes away with a rebound. ECU could tie it or perhaps get their first lead of the game. Weave action up top.
It's going to Felton.
Felton got it. Felton missed it. Offensive rebound, Pirates. And a whistle down low.
How about the job by Malunga on the glass? He's able to compete with Hanlogton.
Foul is on Florida.
Take another look. Malunga and Hadlocked in battle.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of a play on? I didn't see a foul there for either guy.
Meanwhile, the Pirates are on a 6-0 run, and the next foul will put ECU in the bonus.
Well, I think they have made the statement of how the last 4 minutes is going to be played.
Off the inbounds, another missed layup. Boy, the Pirates have had a few bunnies that have not gone their way.
And Florida needs a good look.
Who do you go to here?
Again, I'm going to make sure Samuel gets a touch somehow. More conventional lineup now.
Great swing into the corner, pulling on a three. Can't get it. Ball ricochets around. Pinballs out of bounds to Florida. The Gators have missed 7 out of their last 8 field goals.
And Pullen entered the game 3 for 9 from beyond the arc. He is 0 for 5 tonight.
Well, Florida was able to play pretty loosey-goosey first half. Everything going well. You had the hot hand of Clayton. Now things start to tighten up a little bit in a 2-point game with 4 minutes to play. Good look at the basket, but Felton can't finish. Gators on a scoring drought of nearly 4 minutes. Terrible pass. Felton on the steal. Felton missed it. Great defense by Richard. And then a foul called. This game is all over the place. With Pullen going to the free throw line, 2 shots.
And he's been one of Florida's better free throw shooters at 85%. But it is a struggle at the line for the Gators tonight.
Now, the Gators are 10 for 19 from the line. Turnovers, missed free throws, that's helped keep the door open for the Pirates.
But don't you think if we had told Michael Schwartz he was going to be in a 1-possession game with 3.5 to go, a grinded out game, he would have loved that.
Most definitely. And they had that opportunity not long ago against the South Carolina Gamecocks. That was at home. They lost that game in the waning seconds as the jump shot is good for Cam Hayes, his first basket. He was 0 for 7 before that shot. There on the response on the other end is Pullen.
Yeah, Pullen's trying to carry this team in the second half, much like Clayton did in the first frame. That shot by Cam Hayes, that's what he brings to the table. A good mid-range slashing kind of player.
Former LSU Tiger almost lost the handle there. And Assar did lose the handle. Pirates fortunate to get it back.
No ball awareness.
5 on the shot clock for Hayes. Assar tried to draw a foul, couldn't do it. On the attack, it's Pullen. He missed it, no whistle. Rebound Samuel, and he'll go to the line. Tyrese Samuel, Johnny on the spot, picks up his 5th rebound.
One of the reasons why Florida is so good on the offensive glass is because their bigs run the floor. Whether you're talking about Samuel or Condon, Hanlogton, that's the reason why Florida is able to play at such a pace and still get a high number of offensive rebounds because those bigs run the floor.
Crowd offers silence for the first free throw, which is too strong from Samuel. Keep looking at that Gator free throw number. It's 52% for the game.
A little bit of a smaller lineup for ECU now with 3 guards on the floor.
Gators will likely crash on the free throw and almost got another rebound. Condon was in the vicinity.
You miss 2 free throws, you know what that's like. It's just like a turnover.
Yes, it is. Wasted opportunity for Florida. Felton, stop and pop, no, tap out. Great job by Assar to earn an extra possession. And again, shot clock issues.
Should have reset to 20.
Michael Schwartz is saying, come on, can we get this thing calibrated?
I don't know, it gives you kind of a free chance to name your play now.
That's true.
A lot of options here for ECU in terms of Felton, Assar, Cam Hayes.
Felton on a fade and fire. Front iron.
The fadeaways are usually short.
Wow, pass to Samuel, and he's held. That's all that Brandon Johnson could do because Samuel carved out some good real estate.
It's the high-low quick look in transition.
I'll tell you what, there's 2:05 to go. ECU has got Walker with 4 fouls. Pettiford, Asar, Felton, and Johnson all have 3 fouls. So if it's a battle of attrition, if this game somehow made it to overtime, advantage Florida. Samuel looking for double digits with this free throw. Can't get it. 4-point game, 2 minutes to play. Hayes on the wing. Deflected pass, great hustle, and Florida, Samuel off his foot out of bounds. A game of hot potato gives it back to ECU.
Take another look. The deflection. Richard tries to save it. Condon knocks it out. It's like a fumble that went out of bounds. Just 3.8 on the shot clock. It says 38, but I believe it's 3.8.
You don't see the decimal on that, but you're right.
Well, they're going to say it's a change of possession, that when Richard threw the ball back in, he actually gained possession.
Okay.
So it's a fresh 30. That's a break.
What does ECU do with it?
Now this weave is just designed to move the defense a little bit.
Arcing shot, no. Bodies hit the deck. A whistle along the baseline. Who's it on? Looked pretty good on that one.
Yes, he did.
Like a 90% guy.
And Walker in, Pettiford out. Defensive substitution.
Remember, Walker's got the 4 fouls.
See if ECU goes down the floor defensively.
We have not seen any full court pressure by ECU as of yet. I don't know if that's really in their bag of tricks.
Asar is walking a little gingerly off the bench. So they've gone really small here defensively, but I don't think Pettiford can get back in the game. He came out before the free throw, and he cannot come in until there's another live ball, so Asar has to stay.
Great point, yep. And as you mentioned, Asar definitely favoring.
It's a hard fall.
Now he will go out. Instead, they'll dial up Malanga, the 6'11 freshman. Well, partner, I did not think we'd be here with 1:27 to go. The way this game started, and ECU just down 2, a little token full court look as they peel back.
But man, they compete.
They really do. Well coached, play hard. Pulling on a blow-by, draws the foul.
Well, that's been Florida's best offense in the last 10 minutes, is allow Pullen the opportunity to turn the corner and get to the rim.
You know who we have not seen in a while is Riley Kugel.
Yeah.
The all-SEC freshman selection from a year ago. He has been very quiet tonight overall, just 2 points. He's been out for much of this key stretch. This has been the guy, Zion Pullen. There you see Kugel.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of this team.
Right.
They don't have to have Kugel every night.
Yeah.
And and Todd Golden talked about
That's
it.
right. On any given night, could be one of 4 different guards that could be the go-to player.
This will make it a 2-possession game.
Got it. Clutch. And a timeout called by Todd Golden in Florida. I mentioned Pettiford had the game winner not long ago against Kennesaw State. He brings the ball up, guarded by Clayton. And he's going to take it right to the rack and sneak it in with the left hand. And he comes up gingerly.
Comes up Gippy also.
But a huge
Schwartz,
bucket.
Yeah, he was trying to take a timeout, didn't get it.
ECU only has 1 timeout left. We're under a minute to go, and it's a 2-point game. Huge possession right here. Richard dials up a 3. Rims off. Ball is out of bounds. To the Pirates off of Samuel, they say. That would be reviewable. Final 2 minutes of the second half.
Who did it go off last?
Samuel definitely touched it. I didn't see anybody else hit it after that. Knight, what's the matter with you?
Here's the miss. See, does it hit Felton's left hand there as it starts to go out, and then you have to, there's another swipe at it by Samuel. Does he hit it? So right there, does he touch it again?
Review of the Gator basketball.
So there you go. Now that is a huge call. 20 seconds you can burn off just about before you fire one up there if you choose to do so. We'll see.
It's going to be the same play, pulling one downhill.
It's a flat screen by Samuel. Bowen in trouble. And a timeout called, and a good one. That'll leave the Gators with 1 timeout, and that'll leave 5 seconds on the shot clock.
Here he comes.
Clayton back to Pullen. Pullen, 2 seconds left. Clayton on a 3. Rims off. There's Samuel. Oh, rebound and a slam! Gators plus 20 on the glass. And a timeout called by ECU. Once again, that size by the Florida front line pays off dividends.
Well, they did get the ball to Clayton on a wraparound. It was a great call. But notice what Samuel did, because he was the guy who set the screen. Take a look. I talk about being active on the glass. Watch at the top of your screen. Here's Samuel. He goes and seeks the rebound after being the screener. That's a great job of offensive rebounding. I always talk about you never want to be the guy with the camera in your hand.
Samuel harassing the inbounder. Comes in. Up top, it's Hayes. Hayes on a deep 3. Misses everything. And that is not exactly what Michael Schwartz had in mind, who has an incredulous look at Hayes after that shot.
They were running a flare for Johnson.
Yeah.
And Hayes got a little quick.
And
But that could be rust. You know, he hasn't played.
Well, which is why you don't want him taking the 25-footer in that situation. Like you said, that certainly was not the design. Meanwhile, Walker, nope, they gave it to Asar, so that's his 4th.
Well, no matter what happens at the free throw line, still a 2-possession game. But now it has to be a 3.
Clutch free throw by Alex Condon. Moments like this will serve all these Florida players well. This was not a game that they've been able to just coast through like a lot of people thought perhaps it would be. Ball Burley, Drew Iron, need a bucket fast. Johnson, Asar throws it off the backboard, and that will bring it to a close. ECU with a valiant effort made Florida sweat it to the final moments, but the Gators pull it out.